Hey guys, it's Sam with 2M's and welcome back to another Mixclusive interview. As you guys can see, I have a very special guest here with me. She is an artist on the rise who creates music that is very honest and real. Everyone, please welcome Eliza Marie.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Eliza. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, we're so excited that you're here. But how have you been? What have you been up to recently?
Okay, so this is actually crazy. Because I'm a student. I'm a college student, right?
Mhm.
So literally 30 minutes or so ago, or an hour ago, I just had my thesis title defense.
No
so
way.
I'm all over the place, but it's just so
Yeah.
exciting to just be here and I kind of have like two things I have to do.
Going on. That's crazy. If you don't mind me asking, what's your thesis about?
Okay, so it's approved, so it's good. It's about
yes, congratulations.
Thank you. It's about how algorithmic social media affects like our decision making, as well as how it affects. Maybe we have a sense of imposter syndrome. So it's just about social media, basically,
Yeah.
but algorithmic in particular. So
I feel like you just described myself, like imposter syndrome. I feel like a lot of people experience imposter syndrome because of social media, but that's such a very like really relevant topic. So congratulations for getting an approved topic. So I'm just wondering, like, how are you able to balance like creating music but also school at the same time? Because I can imagine those are two very like hard things to actually balance. So how do you do it?
So it's not easy, but it's definitely
for
worth it because, you know, I do prioritize school, but I also prioritize my own passions. And since they're like two very different things, I just try to like, okay, one day I'll dedicate this to making music. And then another day it's like, okay, I'll just focus on studying right now and I'll just set aside what I'm going to do for my music. So just, it's really time management.
Yeah, a lot of prioritizing. I think that's really what it takes. But I mean, good for you. Like, it's really working out for you being able to find time for both of these things. But let's get more into how you actually started making music. And if I'm not mistaken, you actually like grew up in America and then moved to the Philippines. So, like, could you tell us more about that?
Yes. So, well, I'm half Filipino, half American. So, I mean, it's a long story, but basically, I was born here, but I was raised in the States. So most of my childhood, I spent it in America. And then towards my my teenage years, I moved to Asia. So I'm like everywhere, basically.
Yeah. Wow. So like the Philippines wasn't like the first place that you moved to in Asia? Was it somewhere else at first?
It was actually Indonesia, and this is because of my job. So it was like so random to me almost.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's like that's really like two different like places, obviously like the States and then moving to Asia. So how was it kind of adjusting to everything after moving from the States to Asia, where like it's so different, especially in terms of culture?
Yeah, definitely culture shock. So I experienced a lot of that. And actually, it ties in with my music as well, because I started making some type of music, I would say, in Indonesia to kind of cope with not knowing like the culture of Indonesia. So I would stay at home a lot of times and focus on that. But then it got easier because I don't know, I just got used to it.
Yeah, I just took time, I can imagine, to be able to adjust to everything. But you mentioned that you started making music as like a coping mechanism to like kind of deal with everything. So could you take us through like what made you decide to make music? Like, was this always something that you wanted to do? Did you always want to be a performer, or was it just like random? Like, okay, I'm gonna try doing this.
Well, so my family's very musically inclined, and so music has always been like everything for me. But
Mhm.
it was really towards that time I moved to Asia where I was like exploring my own talents and skills because I knew how to play guitar and keyboard for a while, but not like professionally or anything. But me and my
Mhm.
sister would start making songs just for fun. Like it's nothing serious,
Cute.
really. Yeah, and so yeah, that's it. I just
Mhm.
kind of went from there, and I was like, oh wait, I can make music. So I kind
Yeah.
of did it more professionally, I guess.
Mhm. What kind of music were you initially kind of drawn to create? Like, was it like covers or like just out of like the blue you would write songs already?
Well, both kind of, but I would say I
Mhm.
started out with covers because me and my
Mhm.
sister, we had like the same exact taste in music. So
Cute.
we went through like this garage rock phase. So
Mhm.
the infamous Orwells, and then
Yeah.
Twin Peaks as well. But we
Mhm.
would also cover like Nirvana as
Mhm.
well, and yeah, and then we just kind of made music that kind of was inspired by that kind of like rock or indie sound.
So you guys were kind of like on the same wavelength in terms of music. But I
Yeah.
also saw that you guys uploaded the songs that you guys made, or like you uploaded the songs that you made on the internet. So what kind of became the push for you to put your actual music out there for everyone to hear and for everyone to see?
Well, we just put it on, well, like starting with me and my sister, like our
Mm-hmm.
music, we put it on Bandcamp just for fun. Like we didn't expect
Mm-hmm.
anyone to listen to it really. We were just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, Bandcamp is cool. Like musicians put their songs there. And so we did. And then later on, I kind of like caught on to that. And that's when I put
Mm-hmm.
my own music out as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I saw that it's been a year since you put out I Wonder. Like I just saw
Yeah,
you
the first
put it on
demo of
your
it.
yeah, which is crazy. So what have been your learnings from like the last year of, releasing the song and now creating even more music?
Yeah, so I don't know, it's just more like I really love collaboration because
Mhm.
first I really did everything like on my own. Like the first demo of I Wonder was just all me. And I
Mhm.
thought like it was okay, like the way it sounded. But then when more musicians were working with me, I realized, oh, this is fun, like musicians coming together and how can we make
Mhm.
my songs even better, like how can we push my creative vision to its fullest potential. And so
Mhm.
I've learned that working with other people is a really really good thing, especially for musicians.
Yeah, I'm sure because there are so many like ideas that you can get from others and like a lot of different input that you can get from other people as well. But I do want to talk about your newest song, which is called Bored as Hell. So could you tell
Yeah.
us more about what inspired this song and what it's actually about?
So it's actually really funny. I mean, it's
Mhm.
like called Bored as Hell, and it's like it's so true
Yeah.
because so the story of this song actually came about during the early days of quarantine.
Mhm.
So I was bored as hell. So
Relate.
yeah, I made an instrumental because I got these new plugins on my Logic Pro, and I
Mhm.
was just like experimenting. I'm like, oh, this sounds like a cool instrument, and then I just made instrumentals for it. And then I asked my sister, I was like, what should I write about? I'll just make this into a song. And at that time, we sounds so random, but like
Mhm.
we have this like sandwich that we made, or I don't know if we discovered it, but we just made it. It was
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
cream cheese and Nutella, and like for some reason,
What?
like it was so mind blowing. Like I'm like, this tastes really good, and so she was like, why don't you just make it about that sandwich? And so I was like, okay, why not? So Bored as Hell is actually about a snack, but I try to
Oh
tie
my
it
god.
with like a metaphor to love as well because I was like also going through a rough time. So I was like, okay, let's make
Mhm.
this funny, but also kind of make it poetic at the same time.
Mhm. Oh my god. Okay, there's so many things I want to unpack here. So cream cheese and Nutella. I have
Yes.
never ever
Try
tried a cream cheese Nutella sandwich. Is that for real? Like, is it good?
Yeah, it's really good. Like,
Oh
I
my
didn't know
god.
it would be good, but they were like, let's put it together," and I was like, "Okay."
Oh my god. Okay, now I'm just gonna put that on my list to try out a cream cheese Nutella sandwich. And then you said you kind of also want to make metaphorical and like add like this whole aspect of love. So can you tell us how you kind of went from a sandwich to kind of making it a little bit like deeper and a little bit more about love?
Yeah, well, there's, like, a specific lyric, how it's like, oh gosh, I wish boys craved me in the way that I crave this sandwich. And like now that I think of it, it's like, oh, that's such like a like you shouldn't say that. Like who cares about what boys think of you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was just like supposed to be funny, like not super serious, but I'm just thinking
Mhm.
like, okay, well, the way that I have this kind of snack to,
Mhm. Yeah.
feel great about, I guess. It's
Yeah.
like, how does that kind of like allude to, love and like how you wish someone would want you in a certain
Mhm.
way. So it's
Mhm.
like that.
Wow, I totally felt that though, because like my love for food is just like immense. So I can just, understand how you kind of related the two. I totally get what you mean. But you said that you still ask your sister for like what you should do with a song and stuff like. So do you guys still work together on music?
Well, actually, we don't, and that's because
Mhm.
she's busy being a filmmaker. So,
Oh
um,
wow.
yeah, she's actually going to be helping me with my future songs because I love
Mhm.
her twist in our songs. It's very like mellowy, like I don't know, like just the way she plays guitar is so much better than me. So
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, I need your help with this, and so
Mhm.
she'll definitely be working with my upcoming songs.
Oh, that's exciting, and especially because she's a filmmaker. So, do you plan to make like a music video for Bored as Hell, and like maybe with the help of your sister, or is it something that you already made?
So we were planning on making a lyric video
Yeah.
for this hell,
Oh.
but like
Mhm.
honestly, I don't know why I didn't just like push for it, but she does help me with my music videos.
Mhm.
Actually, she like helped me with all my music videos, and she
Mhm.
directed all of them except for um, Why Can't I Just Like No One? I directed that, but everything
Mhm.
else is really all her because she knows like that vision and the way it should look.
Oh, that's cool. So you guys have like a really good like working relationship. Because I feel like sometimes like with siblings, especially if it's a more like professional kind of thing, it's either they work really well together or they really just like fight all the
Yeah,
time. So at least you
true.
guys get along
Mhm.
really really well. But also I heard that you're actually releasing your debut album at the end of the month, at the end of March. So
Yeah.
how has it been working on the album?
So this album is actually also some songs that I put out already, but of course I just try to take them out so more people wouldn't hear it. But it's some songs from my older band camp, but it also
Mhm.
has more songs that I made like along the way. So of course some people haven't heard it yet.
Mhm.
But it's a very like personal experience because it's just something like it's a compilation of songs that I made when I really had no idea like what I was doing. I didn't know how to mix songs and I still don't
Mhm.
really know how to do that. But yeah, it's just like super raw but very me. So it's very very personal and I love it.
Oh, so it's a very personal album. It's very close to your heart and something that you've been working on. So how does it feel for you? Like do you find it difficult sometimes to be really honest and real with your songs, or is it something that just comes naturally to you?
Well, it does come naturally to me when I write lyrics, but then I think, "Oh, am I getting too vulnerable here? Will this person know I'm actually singing about them?"
Yeah.
Um, and but yeah, like I try to it's so weird, but like I try to add a bit of like a comedic effect to my songs,
Mhm.
so it's like it's not serious. But I've been
Mhm.
working on songs that are really like honest and real, and it's like, okay, if I'm gonna talk about this certain heartbreak or struggle, it's like I really want to talk about it or sing about it.
Mhm. Mhm. Mm. Well, has that ever happened to you then? Like, it has someone that you've written a song about actually found out that this was a song that you wrote for them, or has it been all good and all safe?
Yeah, almost. They almost found out, but
Oh my god.
I'm like, no, this song is, I just try to make songs that I've never experienced so I can be a good storyteller. But it's like, no, the song's about you.
I love it. Yeah, it can still be like open to interpretation. I mean, that's what
Mhm.
music is. But what can we expect from the album, especially because it's your debut album and people are really excited to hear it? So, what can we expect from it?
Lots of girliness. I'm just gonna be
Ooh.
straightforward. It's super girly. Um, some like songs, of course, to dance to, some to cry to. No, but like mostly like it's just like upbeat music. It's very lighthearted. Like even if my
Mhm.
lyrics are a bit like vulnerable and real,
Mhm.
it's mostly just lighthearted music. So that's what
Mhm.
you all can expect from it.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm excited to hear all of this, like everything that you're talking about, because I love like that kind of music too, especially because it's honest and real and it's really something that's coming from your heart and it's very personal to you. But I'm also really excited like to hear what you've been cooking up, especially like now that people are really waiting for your album. Do you have like a so far a favorite on the album that you would maybe want to share? You don't have to like share the whole thing, but like any favorites on the album.
I actually it's weird because it used to not be my favorite, but I don't
Mhm.
wanna, like, say the title right now, but it's
Mhm.
a song, like, no one has ever heard, like, I don't even think my family heard it.
Oh,
But,
really?
yeah, and so because I share a lot with them, maybe my sister knows,
Mhm.
but it's just a song that I've never, like, teased online or whatever,
Mhm.
and the way that it sounds, I'm like, "Okay, well, this one's actually a really, really good track," and so
Mhm.
I know that's really, really vague, but, yeah, there is that one favorite.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure a lot of people are excited to hear what this favorite is. But I also do want to ask, since this is your debut album, like a full
Mhm.
body of work coming from you, how do you feel about it? Like, are you really excited about it? Do you feel nervous, or is this like any kind of pressure? Or are you just like, yeah, let's go. I'm so ready to put this out.
Like, all those feelings at once, but, yeah, of course, like, with releasing, like, a full album, like, all these songs, like, you're I'm gonna be, like, pretty nervous. It's like, "Oh, will people like it? Will people
Mhm.
not like it? Is it like, is this too girly? Is this, like, too cliché of songs?" But I think at the end of the day, it's like, well, I worked hard for these songs, and really
Mhm.
great people worked with me, and so it's like even if people are not too sure of it, it's like, "Oh, it feels good to release all
Mhm.
these songs because it's really such a good creative outlet for me, and
Mhm.
so
And I'm sure so many people are so excited to hear this album coming from you. But you also mentioned a while ago that you love collaboration and you love working with others. So if you could have like your dream collaboration come to life, who would that be?
I always wanted it always changes with my, like, preferences in music,
Mhm.
but I know that, Charlie XCX, The 1975 and No Rome came with, like, a supergroup, and I've always
Mhm.
wanted to collaborate with Charlie XCX,
Mhm.
and so, I don't know, like, that very experimental pop is, like, what I wanna
Mhm.
try to get into, so if I would ever collab with anyone, it would
Yeah.
probably be Charlie.
Oh my God. You never know. You just put it out into the universe.
Yeah,
Everything is possible now. Yes, you just have to manifest it. And everything's possible now with the internet. And I'm pretty sure your paths will cross one day. We could look back at this interview and be like, oh, we totally called it. We totally called it.
for
But
real.
now that you have an album coming up, aside from that, do you have any other plans or any other goals that you want to achieve for this year in 2021?
Well, when concerts become a thing, I want to
Mm-hmm.
actually perform anywhere, basically, 'cause, being, like, a quarantine artist, like, coming out in quarantine, um, of course, like, concerts are, like, not non-existent right now, and it's not safe, but when they become safe, hopefully this year, so, then I would definitely like, that is one of my biggest goals, is just to perform live.
And I'm sure so many people would love to see you live too. So everyone can't wait for when that actually happens. But for now, we are going to savor all of the music that you have released so far and your album, which is coming out by the end of the month. But before I do let you go, Eliza, do you have a message to everyone who's been listening to your music and everyone who's been supporting your music?
Well, thank you so, so much because I don't know, like, it's such, like, a great journey that I went through because I know, like, music has always been a part of me, and for people just to listen to what I create, um, and, like, tell me, like, "Oh, this is such a great song," even if it's just, like, a simple, like, "Oh, love this song," or
Mhm.
even something as elaborate, it's like, "Oh, you inspired me, and, I love the lyrics of this song." Like, I don't know, I
Mhm.
just feel so, so grateful, and so everyone who listens to my song, even just giving me, like, a stream on
Mhm.
Spotify, like, I'm so, so grateful for you, so thank you so much.
Oh, and thank you so much, Eliza, for joining
Thank
us
you.
today and also sharing your music with everyone. I'm sure it has provided a lot of good vibes for a lot of people out there. So thank you so much. And also thank you to everyone who tuned in to this exclusive interview with Eliza Marie. It was really nice getting to talk to you, and I can't
Yes,
wait to hear
thank
your
you.
album coming very soon.
I was so excited. Thank
Yeah,
you so
guys make sure to check out Eliza Marie's music. You guys can listen to Bored as Hell, and also make sure to watch out for her debut album coming by the end of the month. So once again, thank you so much, Eliza Marie.
Thank you.
Yay! And once again, thank you to everyone who tuned in. This has been Sam with 2Ms. We'll see you guys next time.